All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your comedian / meteorologist, Cloud Hudson, and I'll be bringing you all of tonight's top 5 stories. This is, of course, your only comprehensive weather Rearcast show on the internet. I'm the person that tells you what already happened, not what's going to happen. Though tonight I will be forecasting just a little bit because there's some important weather news that involves a forecast. So I do have to report that. I also include everything in the definition of weather, all waveforms. So from volcanoes to earthquakes to wildfires, pollution, atmospheric, regular, normal weather, solar flares, Schumann resonances, astrology, transits, you name it. Even a little quick reading on the vibe weather, like just the general energy of what's going on right now. That kind of weather is what I'm going to be bringing you. Let's go ahead and I don't want to start with that headline. I want to start with so many things. So many things are happening in the headlines right now, but they're not weather headlines, so I'm not going to show them. Let's go to check them out, shall we? Okay, first of all, we've got a winter storm coming for much of the country. This is going to extend from Montana to Florida and back up to Maine again. The most dramatic part of this storm is that it's going to be probably the coldest it's been all year in every single place that it is. We're also going to see probably some record-breaking cold temps, life-threatening colds, wind chills, and low temperatures. There's going to be snow squalls, which is a thing that happens when a squall line forms in the storm when it's a snow producing storm. It's like a squall line in a thunderstorm that just is also happens to be in a storm that's producing snow. There's probably going to be thunder snow with this. Favorite thing of Jim Cantori's. He loves thunder snow. Seen it 7 times in his life. Many of them were on the air. And this is about to be a great example of that. It's so bad that they're advising people, if you're driving anywhere, to travel with a winter survival kit. Just no matter where you're going. Hunker down is the key word. The key phrase is hunker down. Bitter cold is sweeping in from the Rockies towards Florida. Here's our wind chill temperatures. We're looking at single digit or below freezing wind chill temperatures. Anywhere that's purple looks like it's in the negatives for a wind chill. That is really cold. And anywhere here in the upper plains is where those snow squalls are possible. So this is not going to be awesome. This is going to be probably a big snowmaker for much of the South, places that haven't seen snow in years. It's coming. This is another headline about that. It's coming in Thursday night to Friday morning, Friday afternoon. So today's Friday. So what's going on in Montana right now is what we were predicting. Let's go ahead and, we'll get to analysis of what's actually happened today later. In other news, if you don't have a stormy sky out right now, you might be able to see a great planetary precession, planetary alignment, a thing where the planets line up in a row in the night sky, and you can see like 6 planets at once in the night sky, which is rare. It doesn't happen every year. It's not like they all align and are in one spot. But they align in that they are all in a line. It's just a planet parade is what people are calling it. It's just a way to say that the sun is on the other side, or the earth is on the other side of the sun. No, okay. How do I say this? The earth is on the same side of the sun as many of the planets. So at night, you get to see a lot of the planets. It's the time of year. It'll peak between January 21st and February 21st. But today and tomorrow are special because they are the day of the Venus conjunct Saturn transit. And that's when Venus and Saturn are going to be at their brightest in this parade procession thingy. Okay. I think I'm going to use that as an election to do stuff. Weather forecast has forced the U.S. presidential inauguration to be indoors. There's a ceasefire happening, allegedly a ceasefire deal happening. We've got, what's this? This is about the wildfires and how people were already evacuating when the evacuation orders went out. Let's check a look. Let's check on those wildfires, shall we? Check it out. Okay, so we are back to having a large area of what kind of wildfire risk? Doesn't look like that's a red flag warning. That is a fire weather watch. So we're in a fire weather watch for much of everywhere surrounding LA, south and north, from Santa Barbara to Tijuana. Basically everything in the hills looks like it's in a fire weather watch. Our most recent fires that have popped up have been a couple in the downtown actual city of LA, some up here just past the Sierra Pelona, as we get to Antelope Valley, and in Lancaster and Quartz Hill near Palmdale Regional Airport. Lots of fires going on right now. There's also one over here in San Pablo. The Eaton fire still going, 65% contained, but still growing and seeping into the city neighborhood of Altadena, very close to Pasadena. We've also got here in the San Rafael Hills some thermal anomalies. That doesn't mean a fire necessarily, just it's a hot spot. There's also the Kenneth incident up here. And of course, the infamous Palisades incident. That is up to 23,000 acres burned. And it is only 39% contained, which is better than 0% contained, but still not 100. So it is technically growing. Okay, we got some here. Fires between Lenox and Inglewood on Century Boulevard is where the most recent one popped up. Many people are trying their hardest to figure out why these wildfires are happening. I like the conspiracy theory that, the LA Olympics are coming up in 2028, and it would be very convenient for real estate developers if all of the land in the area suddenly plummeted in value and all the homes were destroyed already. All of a sudden, we have all this available land to build, I don't know, like stadiums and condo housing and Olympic infrastructure. Not that they needed an excuse to bulldoze people's homes, but it would make sense that this would. I don't like thinking about that, but it is very possible that these have been not as accidental as it seems like you would want them to be. Okay, let's move on from that because I'm going to get sad. Let's go to our volcanoes. Volcanoes today. Got some regular players popping up here. Let's see what our full report for the day is. Oh, we had a Kilauea update yesterday. I got to check that out. Oh, this is not full screen, so it's not gonna. Why is this Zoom weird? That's very odd. Okay. Here's a picture of Mount Ibu. I don't know why the Zoom is weird. Hold on. It's at 100. Mount Ibu eruption there, stronger than usual. Vigorous fountaining from the northern vent. I think this is Kilauea. See, Toby Simiru, Kilauea, a small sluggish lava flow from the northern vent at approximately 9:15 a.m. local time signaled the start of a fourth episode of the ongoing summit eruption. By 9:50 local time, the active lava flow intensified, with lava fountaining beginning at 9:55 a.m. At the time of writing, an estimated 10% of the Halemaumau crater floor was covered with fresh lava. The webcam footage shows vigorous lava fountains reaching a height of about 60 meters. The sluggish low effusion activity marking the onset of this fourth episode was shorter in duration compared to the slow starts of the second 3 to 4 hours and third 2.5 days episodes. No activity has been observed at the south vent. The tilt meter at Uakahuna continued to record inflation beneath Halemaumau starting around 9 a.m. yesterday, and may be starting to show signs of leveling off. Tremor increased when fountaining began, but is still lower than the first 2 episodes of vigorous fountains. So all of our other South American regular players are also doing their thing. I don't know if we talked about this Bardabunga update. I think I skipped it the last time I did an update. But we had a strong earthquake swarm in Bardabunga volcano in Iceland. This is likely a magma intrusion. So a strong earthquake swarm has started to happen under the volcano at 6 a.m. on the 14th. 100 quakes with magnitudes up to 5 have been recorded. Strongest quake was a 5 at 8:05 local time. The quakes are clustered under the northern part of the large, completely ice-covered Bardabunga caldera and located in the depth spanning between 10 kilometers and the surface. This is the strongest seismic activity of the volcano since its preceding seismic activity prior to its massive eruption in 2014 and 15. The activity closely resembles the pattern of a new magma intrusion, which is likely the cause. This could, but by no means must, result in a new eruption, even in a very short term. If the eruption starts under the ice shield where the current intrusion is taking place, it would result in potentially dangerous glacial meltwater floods known as Jökulhlaups. Glacial meltwater floods are not just from when there's an eruption. They can also happen from just heat percolating through the surface. You don't have to get like lava flow to melt the glacier water. But these Jökulhlaups are fun to say, but not fun to experience because you're not even getting rain. It's like just the flood. It could also lead to significant ash emission once the lava has melted a hole through the ice shield, and allows explosive interaction between magma and water to eject ash into the atmosphere. This would, in turn, would depend on the duration and volume of such eruption. While it is far from certain what might or might not follow, the aviation alert of the volcano was raised to yellow, and level of uncertainty was declared for Bardabunga by the Civil Protection. As of the latest information available, activity has slowed down during the past few hours. So we had a little earthquake swarm in a different part of Iceland. Yay. Let's go ahead, now that we're talking about earthquakes, let's talk about earthquakes. Let me go to the right date. Okay. So we got 2s and 3s in Puerto Rico. We have a 1.8 up here in Maine. 4.6 here in, is this in Chile? Yeah, right on the border. No, this is in Peru. What lake is that? Lake Titicaca. All right, we had an earthquake at Lake Titicaca. Finally get to say that word. Great, beautiful lake name. It's named after a goddess, I think, so don't make fun of it. It's just the English words that we're immature about. 4.4 at 147 kilometers depth right here. 4.3 here. Let's see. We had a 3.4 out in the West Texas stack of quakes, which is odd. We had a normal amount of profuse quaking in the western half of the United States. We had a 3 up in Washington. Did we? No, a 3 up in, where's that centered? Wanda Fuca fracture zone. And like we would expect, lots here in Southern California. Great. Lots of quakes up here in Alaska too. Let's see some of these higher levels. Had a 3.0 way up there and a 4.0 right down here. There is a 4.7 off the coast of Japan. Then a string of mid-range 4s and a 5 leading all the way through Zealandia. We had a 5 down here on the Antarctic and Australian plate boundary. We got a 4.5 here in Ethiopia, where the new continent is dividing. That's our earthquake roundup. Let's talk weather now. Weather, winter weather. So we've already got stuff sweeping down the plains here. It doesn't look as spicy as, we thought. This is the spice right here. Let's see how far back we can get this to load, because that'll show what was the forecast for the snow squalls, how that turned out. This over here in the mid-Atlantic and south Midwestern area is technically rain, but it's very cold rain. Not freezing rain, just very cold rain. A nasty little winter rain. Let's see. This is taking forever to load. I'm sleepy. I worked a long time today. Worked some long hours volunteering. Went and moved some furniture for a friend. And now I'm holding some furniture for a friend. It's also, in case we get snowed in, I can burn all this shit. I'm just kidding. I have stuff to bring that's not sofas. But I do think that, like, maybe the sofas will keep the basement, keep the unheated garage warmer. I don't know. Maybe having all this soft stuff will help insulate it somehow. Okay. So we are looking at the 250 frame mesoscale. Why is playback so slow? That's weird. Mesoscale or mosaic radar. You can see this swooping through Montana to Wyoming to Colorado here through the night hours. And you also see this precipitation marching forth through the Gulf states into central United States there. Denver probably getting a happy amount of snow. Healthy amount. You see how snow at 21.40 dBz is like where you go to the highest, darkest level. And over here for rain, 21 would be like just this very light rain indication. That's why looking at just the raw reflectivity can be a little bit misleading for where there's going to be snow or not. Because I guarantee you here in Nebraska, that looks like snow would not look like anything on radar if you were just looking for precipitation generalized. But all these places that have little circles of snowfall around them, it's not necessarily that they're coming into existence and going out of existence at these city locations. It's that these city locations are where the radar stations are, and you can get a better read from a radar station. You can get a better read of the surrounding area than you can the faraway area. And so that's why the snow clouds are showing up there, but they're not really filling in on a larger scale. Tons of snow up here in the Great Lakes and Canada. Let me do this. Let's see. It's about to start raining in my neck of the woods. It's about to start, well, it should be wintry mixing. Looks like a little bit of frozen precipitation, possibly some snow mixing in there right now already. Let's look at wrong thing. Ooh, we had an M1.1 flux today. I clicked on the wrong link, but that means we'll have a little bit of solar weather to talk about. Wow. Okay, that's our frontal analysis. Let's see our temperatures. Woo! Cold, 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 cold. Let's look at pivotal weather and see what their observations reported today are for, let's start with radar precip. 6-hour precip accumulation been mostly in Wyoming and Idaho. In the past day, we pretty much the same thing, including Montana. And past 3 days, same thing. But in the past week, boy, we get in on it. We get in on the action over here in the East Coast and the Deep South. That is going to change soon because we are forecast to have some, buddy. Here's our QPF, our quantitative precipitation forecast. We're looking at some large totals in the next day, the next 2 days, even larger, and 3 days still getting bigger. Offshore is getting a lot of love. I mean, they're going to get more precipitation down here on the coast than in parts of the leeward side of the mountains here in North Carolina and Virginia. Winter storm severity index gets worse every time I check it. Keeps getting worse. I can't even lie. It gets worse every day. I wish it wasn't like that. Wish I had better news to report for you, but we are expecting it to be bad. Observations. Let's take a look at these observed temperatures. Whoo. Icy, chilly. We've got this warm ridge of air coming in from the Gulf, but that's kind of it. That is kind of it for relief from the cold, because we're going to have to go outside and somehow bottle the heat in the atmosphere, because it is not going to stick around. Let's go now to talking about, let's talk about it. Talking about the magnetosphere. Magnetosphere. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, guys. It's been a hectic and crazy week. Not too bad, just like a lot going on. Not getting enough sleep. So I had to go to bed very early last night because just haven't had time to rest. I feel like that's very called for right now with the Mars in retrograde in Cancer. I feel like rest is very warranted and a good idea. Generally, and always a good idea to rest at least moderately, a good healthy amount, but don't like sleep constantly. Then you'll miss all of your life. But, okay, so we can see yesterday's little density storm at the beginning of this track. There, that's when I was doing the show yesterday. We got that big old density spike. And there's the pressure. Oh, scroll down. Ooh, we don't have that much of a pressurized lens, but the belts around the Earth are highly pressurized, meaning there's probably a lot of charged particles in there just waiting to precipitate downwards. They haven't been forced to, though. There's no forcing mechanism for getting these knocked out of their orbit. Except, wait, I missed one on our... Yeah, that was a bit of a push. This lobe goes away. This lobe decharges. Yeah, there we go. There's the precipitation. It all goes down. Okay, let's look at the Schumann resonances. Of course, showing us what it's like when ions build up in the upper atmosphere and get charged down. So on the 17th, we did have a little bit of vertical spike activity and an increase in mode 2. Let's see what the power level was on that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Mode 3 also steadily increasing as time goes on. A big spike in mode 2, too. Mode 2. And our frequency got hella low. or our amplitude got hella low for a second there. Really not a lot. Let's look at our frequencies, because that shouldn't have been affected by the solar wind. Yeah, frequencies are still setting moderately high to normal. Now let's check out the solar weather. So, look at all these CMEs. We had 17 through 23, 7 coronal mass ejections today, and 1 on over the date line of 18. Nothing qualifying as a partial halo, though. Let's see our sunspot regions. And both of our ones that have been beta, gamma, delta yesterday have been downgraded to probably a beta, gamma. There's now 3 beta, gamma configurations. This 3961 is the one that looks, and 3964 look the most poised to do some good Earth-facing damage. But so far, nothing has popped out. This is a still of our 193 angstroms wavelength view. Okay. Guys, I think we might get another X class again soon here in a minute. We've got our M class flares coming back with a vengeance after a little bit of a sleepy time. They took a little bit of a nap. And now we're getting up there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the most recent peaks in X-ray radiation getting into M-class territory. One of them getting pretty close to X-class at a 7.46. Check out our auroral activity. Solar wind speed is moderately high. And magnetic field is oriented in the southern direction. So it will couple very well with the Earth's atmosphere. We're in a waning gibbous moon. It's the type of moon that I was born under a waning balsamic moon. Okay, we got maximum X-ray flow. Okay. KP index of -3. Where did we go all day? Yeah, we had been up at a KP of 4 for like 6 hours today. Let's go to our planets. Sorry I'm not dwelling so long on today's broadcast. I'm just very tired. Currently, my favorite thing to point out is that we've got a grand Earth trine setting itself up. That will become complete when this moon in Virgo moves to around like somewhere in the last decan of Virgo. It's going to be trine to Sun and Uranus is trine to Moon and Sun is trine to Uranus and Moon. So that's a grand Earth trine in the last decan of each Earth sign, which is probably why things feel so heavy, sluggish, sleepy. That and a Mars retrograde in Cancer is probably making people feel more like being tired and cozy and wanting to do some homemaking instead of worrying all the time. We have Venus and Saturn making their conjunction in Pisces just about there at 15 and 16 degrees. That is currently making an opposition to the moon in Virgo. So our moon, our emotions, our physical body, our animal body kind of sign is opposing the Venus sign conjunct, or Venus planet, the planet Venus conjunct the planet Saturn. They're at their brightest right now because they're together. And love with discipline is also one of the best conditions discipline can come in. A very loving package of discipline. But also thinking about the upcoming winter storm, I'm very curious if astrometeorology has anything to say about having Venus and Saturn in a watery, mutable wintertime sign like Pisces and co-present with Neptune, maybe that indicating some sort of communication with the depths or icebergs or massive snowdrifts. I don't know why those are like unstoppable force meets immovable object. That's Saturn and Venus in Pisces, just not crashing into each other, but definitely ships passing in the night, acknowledging each other. Venus is also the planet and goddess of not just homemaking in your physical body, but of life and art and love and intrigue and all that kind of stuff. So very mysterious weather going on as well. Ambiguous forecasts left and right. We've got a T-square set up. Oh, I didn't notice that. We had a T-square set up between Jupiter, Moon, and that Venus and Saturn. So that's another great thing. We got a Grand Cross, if you consider that a Grand Cross, because one thing's in Aries is Chiron, and one thing that's in Libra is Black Moon Lilith. They've been in opposition for a while, and so have Pluto and Mars, but Mars is no longer in fiery Leo. Mars is in watery Capricorn that just kind of wants to take care of people, make a home, be safe and cozy. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to say about that tonight. Let's take you out on a good note. I could play that all day. I could just sit here and play that bowl the whole time. It just makes me so happy and feel so peaceful. Okay. I totally get how monks could just sit there and play that all day. I would do that. And maybe I have done that in a past life or something. Selenite infused deck. I like this top one. I don't think I've ever seen it before. It's got a daffodil on it. It says, every emotion I feel is guidance from my adoring inner being. Every emotion I feel is guidance from my own inner adoring being. Because my inner being offers a strong and steady vibrational signal, I can always feel my allowance or resistance to that signal. The better I feel, the more aligned I am. The worse I feel, the more out of alignment I am. As I reach for good feeling emotions, I am in alignment with the signal of my source. So, what it says on the tin, I mean, that's it. Every single emotion you feel is there for a reason. And if you want to get rid of that emotion, you need to think it. You don't necessarily have to understand the reason it was there, but you have to trust that that emotion was there for a purpose, serving your highest and greatest good. Your inner self would not lead you astray or make you suffer needlessly. There might be a need to suffer something if you're feeling suffering. Got this labradorite infused. Ooh, look at that flash. Beautiful. What goes with every emotion I feel is guidance from my inner adoring being. Ooh. Got 3. The 7 of Pentacles reversed. The 9 of Cups upright. and the Two of Cups reversed. Two of Cups reversed could mean the breaking of a contract, the breaking of a marriage, partnership, business dealing, somebody moving out, somebody moving away, or just deciding to have a different level of relationship with somebody than you've had before, but not a start of a new one. Maybe consciously deciding to lose touch a little bit. Nine of Cups upright. You're sitting happy with your emotions. Maybe you're not too bummed about that, losing that contact of the Two of Cups, because you're sitting pretty grateful and happy with what you've got right now. It's not the absolute most wish fulfillment example of your wildest dreams coming true, but you are wise to sit here and enjoy the gifts you've been given while you have them. And then the Seven of Pentacles reversed. You're in the midst of the labors. They're starting to pay off. You're starting to see the fruits of your labors, but you are still well in the thick of it. You are still tending those fields. It's still the middle of the growing season. The cups that you are appreciating now, the pentacles you are seeing come to bear fruit now, are nowhere near the end of the harvest. It's just an indication of the right direction you're going in. So maybe one of those fruits is more like boundaries. Perhaps we're cultivating our boundaries a little bit better, our relationships with people. Maybe our emotional boundaries are getting stronger, and we're not going to be able to, we're not going to be swayed by or fall for things that people try to manipulate us with as much anymore. I hope that's the right interpretation, because that sounds great. And card from the liminal space. Of course, with the ocean jasper. Liminal space, that ocean. Bottom of the deck, rainbow. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's not going to white balance. Oh, well. Okay, who wants to go with every emotion I feel is guidance from my adoring inner being? Two of Cups reversed, Seven of Pentacles reversed, and Nine of Cups upright. Okay. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt. It's got somebody standing at the edge of a train platform. 33rd Street, 33. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt. Let's read that one. Let's see, is it the enemy of intuition is self-doubt, a cyclical, silent war with the self. The game is rigged, and there are no winners. You could wait it out for a sense of certainty that may or may not come, or just go ahead and speak your truth, as nothing pins doubt into place like silence. Fear is a liar. Life is for the living, and you are invited. So, perhaps if you're feeling self-doubt, it's because you are perceiving too much. Because if there's a reason you want to limit your intuition, that's because you don't want to perceive new information from that intuition. So if you're feeling stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, perhaps You're just feeling information overload. Because again, every emotion you feel is guidance from your inner being. Every emotion you feel can tell you something about your subconscious desires, goals for moving throughout the world. And when that self-doubt comes up, maybe you're like the Seven of Pentacles guy taking a break in the middle of your farming. Like, is this really even worth it? I'm doing a lot of hoeing, a lot of digging, a lot of watering. All this shit just seems really hard. Maybe you're like this guy with a little bit of self-doubt because you're not at the 10 or court cards of Pentacles yet, but you are on your way. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt. Yeah, trust yourself. The emotions came here for a reason. Every emotion I feel is guidance from my adoring inner being. Trust that shit. Hi, Wes. I love you. I am so sleepy. I am so sleepy tonight that I am Cloud. Hi. I'm so sleepy that I need to get to bed. I've only done a 45-minute show. Yeah, I think everybody's sleepy these days right now. Thanks for being here. I love you all so very much. Studio space is probably going to be changing up a little. The look will be different every day now, I think. And one day I'm going to pop on here and just have different color hair. But every day seems to not be the day to do that. So I will do it when it's supposed to be done. Okay, for today's weather tonight, I've been Cloud Hudson. You've been a lovely audience. Great chat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Stay warm. It's going to snow almost everywhere. So stay warm. If it's not going to snow, you're on fire right now. So stay cool. Okay, bye.